Hello, I'm Ronnie and welcome to my channel. Today I had for you some easy decoupage Christmas ornaments that I did just a few days ago. They'll be great for your home, or I think they'll be great as a gift. I got these wooden ornaments I found at Michael's. They were $10 a box. They come with a box of 6 and they're a nice lightweight wood and they're slightly distressed. I had these Christmas napkins from a party at some point last year, and I never throw away my extra napkins just for this reason. And I cut them out to fit the ornament shape. Then if you wet your fingers a little bit, you can pull the back off pretty easily. In each ornament, I centered the design a little bit different. But I cut a piece big enough to fit the entire ornament, and then I used regular matte Mod Podge, and I put the first layer on just the ornament itself and stuck the napkin onto the front. I used a piece of balled up saran wrap to smooth the napkin down. And I proceeded the same with the other 5 and let these dry completely. I made sure that the first layer of Mod Podge that I applied to the face of my ornament was a nice thin layer. Now what I do is I set these all aside to dry. I get less wrinkling that way if I let this first layer dry. Once dried, I put a nice layer of Mod Podge over the surface of the napkin itself, all the way to the edges. Make sure you're mindful to cover all the way to the edges. Now, if you don't want to clean your brush in between these layers of Mod Podge, what you can do is just wrap it in a wet paper towel to keep the Mod Podge nice and soft. And you wouldn't use the saran wrap this time because your glue is on the surface and the saran wrap will stick and could possibly rip your napkin. Now wrinkling will appear because this layer is going to reactivate the original layer of Mod Podge underneath. So to combat this, I do like to bake my pieces. And what I'll do is I'll get all these pieces on a tray, just a cookie sheet. I put it in a cold oven, set it to the lowest temperature, which is normally 170 degrees. I let my pieces bake in there for usually a half an hour, maybe a little longer. Then I shut the oven off and I let my piece, whatever it is, cool in the oven for approximately an hour. So once these ornaments have cooled, you'll see all the wrinkles that had been created with your second layer are much more smooth. I go around the edges with usually just a really fine grit sanding block, like a 220, and I do it in one direction away from the picture, and it just tears the napkin away from the glued edge, and it prevents it from tearing and gives you a nice smooth finish all around the edges of whatever you've decoupaged. Now, on a couple of these ornaments, I did get a little bit of a lift on the edges. So what I did is I put one more layer of Mod Podge, mindful to put more glue underneath those lifted edges, and then I rebaked them. And you don't have to do that. I just like to do it because it speeds the process up. So I was able to store these ornaments in the box that I had bought them in from, it was Michael's, and they were $9.99 a box. So I didn't think that was bad for 6 big ornaments. And what I really like about these is they're not heavy. They are solid wood, but they're not heavy. So to finish these up, I used some triple thick, and it's super shiny. So you don't want to keep going over the spots. Once you put it on, you kind of brush it on and leave it. And this is something you do not bake. Triple thick does not get baked. I put it on and I sprinkled some sparkles on there, and oof, for the first one, the sparkles definitely came out too fast. So I was very careful with the other ones. Now I love the way these ornaments ended up coming out, but in retrospect, because they are distressed, I think if I do another set of these, and these come in a lot of different shapes you can buy, because the distressing came through the decoupage and everything, I kind of liked that look. So I think the next set I do will be very pretty, just left that flat matte finish. I like them with the sparkles, but I might like it even more left without. Now the triple thick takes about 24 hours to dry. To finish these off, I had bought some ribbon from Joann's. So I couldn't get a good knot tied, so I kind of made it look like a bow without really being a bow. And this is how I did it. I cut the ends of each side of that piece of ribbon to a sharp angle. I just thought it looked a little dressier, and I just used hot glue and I glued it around the top of the ornament, and then I just glued it and folded it over on itself. Just crisscrossed it. Then I took a separate piece of ribbon and just made it into a circle and kind of glued that circle, folded the ends in and glued it in the middle. Use your scissors to help you out, or else you're going to burn your fingers. Then I cut a little short piece and wrapped it around the middle of that circle. And in the end, it comes out looking like I tied a bow, which I didn't. My jute bow. And I just glued that on the front of the first piece I had wrapped around the top of the ornament. And see, it looks like a cute little bow. And when you fluff the bow up, it looks a lot cuter. So this is how the final product looked. I don't know if I'll keep these or I might give them as a gift, I'm not sure, but I'm really happy with them. This is the first of a few ornaments I'll be making this year, so if you like these, please leave a like and subscribe.